So, good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for being here today for this webinar. My name is Angela, and I'm in charge of the academic secretariat of the program. To present this brand new program jointly offered by UniSR and Politecnico di Milano, we will have today in this webinar two representatives of both institutions. So, for UniSR, we will have Professor Antonio Esposito, who is also the dean of the program. And for Politecnico di Milano, we will have Professor Lara Cavinato, who is also the coordinator of one of the first year courses. Also, Miss Virginia Trulli, a member of the admission team, will be with us for this webinar, and she will give us more information on how to apply, on the timeline to apply, and on the academic requirement. Please note that this webinar is recorded, and for any inquiries you might have, please just write them down in the chat. We will have a Q&A session at the end of the presentation, and we will address them all at the end. So thanks for being here, and thanks for your attention. I leave the stage now to Professor Esposito.
Thank you very much, Angela. So I will take the control of the presentation, and I will start from the beginning. So the beginning is that this Master of Science in Health Informatics starts from the collaboration between two universities that are highly ranked. The Politecnico of Milan, which is at the 111th place in the QS World University Ranking of 2025, is ranked the first university in Italy, and the 21st university around the world in the section of engineering and technology. And UniSR, so Vita-Salute San Raffaele University, which is another prestigious university in the field of the medical science, and it occupied the fourth place around the world in the field of research, of quality of research, the fourth place after the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, after Stanford University, and just after Harvard University, and before, for example, other prestigious universities like Oxford or Cambridge. It is the first university in Italy for citation for faculty, and it was voted as the first best master degree among the non-state university in medicine in Italy. So two important universities that joined to create this Master of Science in Health Informatics. Looking at the San Raffaele University, the San Raffaele University is very known, as we have already said, for the quality and impact of research. Vita-Salute San Raffaele and San Raffaele Research Hospital work together synergistically on the campus, where the hospital clinical department, laboratories, and spaces are dedicated to higher education interact on a daily basis with the professor and the university itself. The collaboration between the two institutions is very important and is the basis for an enrichment and a very high scientific production, with more than 2,050 scientific papers with a very high impact factor that allows to San Raffaele University to be internationally recognized for the excellence of research and also for the impact of research. The collaboration is with the San Raffaele Hospital, which is the first research hospital in Italy, and the main field of the research are in the field of neuroscience, oncology, genetics, immunology, cardiovascular diseases, infection diseases, cell and gene therapies, and artificial intelligence in healthcare. The excellence of UniSR is also proven by the membership of UniSR and San Raffaele Research Hospital in the European University Hospital Alliance. It's the unique campus, unique Italian campus that is part of this European group that is a leading group in the research and in providing knowledge and research in the field of advanced medicine. And since the beginning, the mission of San Raffaele University was to try to find an answer to the question, quid est homo? So the question is the basis of the mission of UniSR, and UniSR want to answer to this question by the study of the mankind in all its many features, so the mind, the body, and the soul. But very recently, since few years, we would like to impact in the medicine with the looking and guiding the improvement of all astonishing technologies and new technologies in the field of computer science, robotics, and devices in the field of medicine, because we believe that the future of medicine will be strongly based on the interaction between technician and doctors, technician and operator of the medical sector. And we believe that these new technologies may improve the life and the healthcare of our patient. And we want to put these technologies at the patient bedside. And this is the reason why we collaborate with Polytechnic of Milan to create the Health Informatics course, so a Master of Science in Informatics. Because the Polytechnic of Milan gives us all the technical components and collaboration that are needed for a very impactful course. Polytechnic of Milan is a leading technical university in Europe, based on an academic and research excellence and a strong connection with the industry. The research at Polytechnic of Milan aims to give toward a cutting-edge results with an excellent research that continue to enhance the competitiveness of Polytechnic of Milan within the framework of the European University Alliances. The key measures focus on the development of doctoral programs, support of young research, and selection of incoming talent. And furthermore, Polytechnic of Milan develops an open science and open access, ethical and responsible approach to scientific research, identifying suitable communication tools to enhance the impact of research in alignment with the sustainable development goals. The research organization of Polytechnic of Milan, it is divided in 12 very large departments with 35 interdepartmental laboratories, 250 research labs, and 4 large infrastructure. Obviously, as you can see by the number in this slide, the Polytechnic of Milan has a very impactful capability of development, of patenting the solution that are developed, or commercial agreements, of creating startups and spin-off. And this is very important for us because it provides within this joint venture with the San Raffaele University all the important points that are fundamental to create a program, a Master of Science program in Health Informatics that it is really impactful for our students, because on one side we have the hospital, the strong research in the field of medicine, and on the other side we have a leading player in the field of the technological science and on the development of technological solutions. So I think that we can provide to our students the best setting and the best ambient for their growth, and to have a wonderful experience to arrive to the final degree in health informatics. So I will leave the podium to Lara Cavinato to present to you the key features of our program. Thank you, Lara. Please.
Thank you. Good afternoon. And as previously introduced, this master's program is the result of the strategic collaboration between Vita-Salute University and Politecnico di Milano's world-renowned institution. And it's a master's degree developing a 2-year program, awarding 120 credits overall. Admission is based on a test, ensuring that candidates meet the necessary requirements, and the language of instruction is English, making the program also accessible to international students. And talking about internationalizations, the program is designed for both EU and non-EU candidates, fostering a diverse and inclusive learning environment. Since this is a master degree, applicants must already hold a bachelor degree. We will go into the details about the specific requirements later in this presentation. The program is structured, as I was saying, into 2 years with courses designed to balance the diverse academic backgrounds of the students. Particularly in the first semester, there are 2 tracks. Students with a background in information and mathematical sciences are required to take the biology, genetics, and anatomy and physiology course, while students with a biomedical background must take the software system design and operation course. Both of these courses are worth 18 credits and are essential for ensuring a solid foundation for all students, with the goal of creating a balanced class, leveraging each student's prior knowledge while preparing them for the integrated coursework. In fact, starting from the second semester and continuing throughout the program, all the courses will be attended jointly by all the students, regardless of their initial background. All the courses are semester-based, meaning that the topic will be introduced progressively, but students are not required to follow a strict prerequisite order throughout the 2 years. In the second year, students participate in a multidisciplinary laboratory dedicated to practical activities focused on career guidance, so helping students transition smoothly into what it will be the job market. A crucial component of the program is, of course, the master thesis at the very end of the path, which carries 20 credits and involves both practical and experimental projects, allowing students to apply their knowledge in a real-world scenario. Finally, students must complete also 9 credits of elective internship in the second year. These are student-selected courses blending both lectures and hands-on lab sessions. And these courses provide opportunities for, again, in-depth exploration of different topics, helping students tailoring their learning experience based on their personal interests and career aspiration. One key aspect of this program is flexibility. While attendance is, of course, highly recommended, it is not mandatory, and lectures are delivered by both professors from UniSR and Polimi, but also by data scientists, bioinformaticians, and biotechnologists from the AI Hub, who are actually actively working on real-world projects. And this ensures that students gain, in fact, direct insights from professionals that do that for work. Strong emphasis is also placed on hands-on activities from a biomedical and an informatics point of view. On the biomedical side, students will engage in lab work, for instance, DNA extractions, to understand the mechanism behind data acquisition in life sciences, because they will need this expertise in order to develop the other side of the medal, which is the informatics side. On this side, students will also participate in laboratory sessions where they analyzed the real-world data set that they were looking how to extract on the biomedical side. So to integrate theoretical knowledge with the practical applications. Students have then the opportunity to participate also in extracurricular internships at the AI Hub, starting from the second semester of the first year. These internships take place twice a week and are voluntary. Initially, the students will work together, but then they will divide it in smaller groups as to focus on specific research topics, often guided by the AI Hub experts. The program also includes a dedicated ethics course in the first year that provides a critical perspective on AI in healthcare, covering, for instance, intellectual property protection, ethical concerns, or decision-making processes in general, as to put the focus on the role of human oversight in AI-driven healthcare solutions. Starting from the second semester of the first year, when the knowledge gap between students of different backgrounds has been balanced out, the course, every course is designed to enhance the interaction between the two different backgrounds, as to encourage collaboration and knowledge exchange between and among students, and so to create a dynamic learning environment and foster also critical thinking, also regarding the ethical challenges of AI in the medical fields. So this approach ensures that every student at the end of their graduation actually has a unique customized skill set that is shaped based on their prior education, but also their experiences throughout the entire program. So what is the main goal of this program? So we aim at combining complementary knowledge and perspectives, ensuring that students develop expertise in both domains, but keeping their identity and fostering the creation of their identity, introducing a new hybrid way of applying expertise, bridging the gap between technical and biomedical sciences. In fact, one of the key challenges that nowadays the healthcare sector is facing is the lack of professionals who are truly interdisciplinary. The bottleneck is not only about the development of new technologies, which is, of course, there, but also on the availability of experts who can bridge the gap between the two realms of the sciences. So this master is specifically designed as an interdisciplinary education course inspired by the best program in also top institution in the US or UK that prepares students to anticipate and respond to the evolving need of the healthcare industry to develop and implement innovative solutions. All these things that I have mentioned about the course, in fact, find roots in how we as a society and individual working on society derive knowledge from the analysis of the world. Specifically, the scientific method prescribes to build knowledge throughout evidence and also medical knowledge throughout evidence. And in this context, we call evidence-based medicine that fundamental approach in healthcare, of course, that serves as a guiding principle for treatment, disease prevention, and overall well-being in general. So what does this evidence-based really mean? Well, it means that they should be grounded on data and not just experience or intuitions. And it breaks down into three main steps. So we gather evidence throughout clinical research, we critically interpret evidence by biostatistics and informatics, health informatics, and other tools. And we then ultimately translate evidence into decisions. So to convert research findings into policies and clinical practices. So the challenge is ensuring that data is properly collected, analyzed, and implemented. And in this, health informatics plays a very crucial role. So what the key question is, which kind of data do we have? Well, we are assisting definitely what we can call a revolution, because we have a huge amount of data coming up. We have clinical data that includes hospital collected data, for instance, electronic health records, but also lab values, diagnosis, etc. There are actually increasing in their richness and in their power. They continue to grow, but also administrative data that are actually collected for different purposes, but they can entail and provide information, for instance, about trends in healthcare, access, public, private, or service utilization. But also we are witnessing new kind of data that's actually coming up that can be really interesting and meaningful in order to derive knowledge, that are patient-generated data, for instance, from wearables or surveys, apps that can with the patient, that can interact with the patient, or also non-traditional data sources like social media, online health communities, public health trends, collectors of patient experience. And all this data actually holds the great potential of understanding the patient behaviors and how the patient could actually interact with the healthcare itself. So in this scenario, we are actually moving from healthcare data to healthcare big data. That is actually buzzword that is really on purpose in this scenario, because the big data are defined by usually the 5 V's. The first 4 stands for volume, variety, velocity, and veracity. That means that the sheer amount of healthcare data is enormous, comes in different formats, as we were saying, at a very fast-paced speed, but also sometimes it's not completely trustworthy. But the most important V is actually the value, because the goal of collecting and analyzing healthcare data is to generate value by improving patient care and experience in the last phase. So the challenge is not just to collect the data, but make the data actionable. Of course, big data presents enormous opportunities, but also some challenges. In fact, the traditional approaches are not sufficient nowadays to handle the growing complexity of the healthcare panorama, and we need new methods and new pipelines to scale and automate and make more accurate the system that cures us. Of course, we need to also be trained as healthcare professionals to be aware of the biases that both the data and our models can bring to the table. And to avoid this, we must consider the human factor as the ultimate stakeholder, because data cannot replace human decision-making. So the role of data scientists, doctor, healthcare professionals is super crucial in the interpreting and making informed choices on the basis of those results. So the challenge is to leverage AI and big data while ensuring that humans remains into the loop. And this is the very final aim of this health informatics course, to develop better methodologies, better technologies, control biases, and also, of course, maintain the human oversight on the whole story. So with this, I give you again the stage and to introduce the two laboratories, the two hubs that actually in UniSR embrace this whole vision.
So thank you very much, Lara. So Lara gave us the vision and the foundation, the cultural foundation that represents the basis for this health informatics course, which is integrated within the broader innovation ecosystem at San Raffaele Hospital, with the strong support of Politecnico Milan. What it is very interesting is that in San Raffaele University and San Raffaele Hospital we have some strategic programs that are integrated with this university course, and that represents a gym also for our students. In particular, we have launched some years ago a strategic program which is the AI Hub, that today involves a lot of people with multidisciplinary integration, because we found data scientists, computer scientists, physicians, technicians and engineers in this group that works all together to make research and to create knowledge in the fields that were presented by Lara. And together with the people, we have an interoperable infrastructure that was developed together with Microsoft that has the unique capability of give the possibility to these people to work with data in a secure and effective way, and to arrive to solutions that can directly provide to the clinician for the step of testing, and for the for the step of using and implementing this solution in the clinical setting. In particular, this platform, which is completely AI powered, allows the collaboration between different professionals, the data gathering, the core definition, the data exploration, data analysis, and finally the automatic reporting in a completely safe, reliable, explainable way, and provided already some very interesting results, because within this project we have 21 projects in pipeline at the moment, and some of these projects arrives to the final step, and so we created some models and some web apps that allows also to use these models with a user-friendly dashboard that allows to the patient itself or to the clinician to use the solution. And for example, some solution that arrives in the clinical workflow allows to decide which is the risk of a patient related to the kidney cancer before the operation, or for example, which is the best solution for a specific patient to treat an aortic stenosis, or for example, which is the risk of a patient to have a myocardial infarction in the subsequent years, and also thanks to the explainability and the transparency of the model that were developed, also to suggest which is the more effective and personalized treatment for each single patient with coronary artery disease. Another strategic program that was developed in San Raffaele Hospital and San Raffaele University, and that it is available also for our students to make experience, and it is strongly based on the advanced analysis of big data, is the Neurotech project. The Neurotech project is a project of machine-brain interface or computer-brain interface, which is essentially the same thing. It includes different projects with the use of external devices and projects with the use of internal implantable devices. All these devices allow us to collect data, but also to interact with the brain of the patient. And for example, with a project that concluded the first trial, thanks to the implant of a new devices and the collection of data and the interaction with the nervous system of the patient, the researcher was able to provide a new chance for patients that after an injury in the spine were paraplegic to recover the capability of working. So essentially this is a project in which the use of big data, the use of AI, the use of advanced technology and new wearable or implantable devices give the possibility of recovering functional skills that the patient has lost for different neurological disease that could be degenerative or traumatic diseases. And we arrive now after the presentation of what is essentially the mission, the contest, the idea, and also the facilities and the projects that are active and that are all at support of health informatics, at another important point, which is the careers opportunities for our graduates. We think that there is really a great demand for our student, and it is this great demand. It is led and it is driven by the very important improvement of the market in the field of computer science for healthcare solution. The computer science, it is absolutely clear that is revolutionizing and will revolutionize the healthcare by decreasing the cost and increasing the quality of patient care. And for these reasons, there are a lot of investment in this sector, with an investment that grows at a very impressive rate, which is a rate that is higher than the rate of investment of all the other fields of the use of AI, with 48% of growth of investment that it is planned from 2024 to 2029. The roles that our students will have are in different settings, both in the academic and the university and research setting, in the industries and in the public sector. We feel that different roles that our students can assume are in the field of research, like researchers, project manager, computer scientist. In the industries as other data analyst, IT analyst, information security officer, chief artificial intelligence officers, chief health information officers, electronic and medical record keepers, chief information officer, and informatic managers. And in the public sector, so in the field of management of healthcare and organization of healthcare as project managers, chief information officers, and informatics managers. Also, the New England Journal of Medicine the last years highlighted which is the evolution of the healthcare system. We, and not only we, but all the players worldwide believe that the medicine is really changing. In our hospital and in our labs, we don't need only of doctors and medical operators, but we need also computer scientist, data scientist, and engineer that works side by side with the doctors, because the medicine is significantly different today and will be significantly different in the future. We need really a multidisciplinary approach to the data, to the patient, to the disease, and to mankind more in general, because only with this kind of approach we can face the more critical aspect of the healthcare system today, which is the aging population, the needs to be more precise and more personalized in the approach to the patient, also because there is a restriction of resources, and so we have to be more precise to choose the perfect treatment for the single patient. And in this context that it is changing, also the New England Journal of Medicine highlighted that there is the need for the large hospital of a new figure, which is the Chief Health AI Officer, that can guide this revolution and that can guide the real integration in the hospital of the AI solution that today represents already part of our daily activity. And also the question that we have made to different key public and private stakeholders, which is, do you think that the professional figures that the course in health informatics aim to train will be required by the labor market in the next 10 years? Was definitely yes. And the stakeholders that we have interrogated about this includes also one worldwide leading player in the industry of technology for the sector of healthcare. So we think really that there are a lot of possibility of career for our students, and thanks to the joint venture between UniSR and Politecnico Milan, we plan also to launch in the second year, and so in the final year of university for our student, a career development pathways that allows to find for each student the best track in the academic, industry or public sector to access to the research, to the industries, or to the management of the healthcare system. So thank you very much for your attention. Now I think that I want to pass the podium to Virginia to speak about the part of admission and to answer or to all the question of the possible candidates that are with us for this webinar.
Certainly. Thank you, everyone. Thank you to both professors for this very insightful and enthusiastic presentation of our course and for shedding lights on the future trends. So, as anticipated, I'm going to provide you with an overview of our selection process. I'm going to go more on the technical details of how it works. I saw that you already popped in the chat some questions, and I can assure you that we are going to assess them. So just to give you an overview, the selection process for our master's degree in health informatics is based on two elements of evaluations, which are an admission test and the evaluation of your academic career. On our website, you can find our call for admission, which I invite you warmly to go through it and read it carefully. It contains all the details. And then if you have any doubts, please do not be afraid to contact us at admissions@unisr.it. We will be very glad to provide you with some clarifications. So let's see now some of the main points of the selection process. There are 50 places available, of which 10 are reserved to non-EU candidates. The registration period is already open. It opened on January the 15th and it will close on April the 10th. So you have plenty of time to register for the selection process. The test will be on April 17th and it will be online, home-based, and it will be held through an online proctoring system. The application fee is €150 and you can participate if you already graduated in the bachelor degree or if you are going to graduate within the fall session of the current academic year. So we're talking about the fall session of the academic year 2024-2025. I know it slightly varies from institution to institution. It is more or less between September and November, but if you are unsure about whether you fall under these characteristics, please don't be afraid and contact us. Let's see now what are the academic requirements to access our master degree in health informatics. As said, you have to have a bachelor degree or going to get a bachelor degree in the next few months in one of these sectors. The sectors that you can read here in the table are Italian sectors in biotechnology, information engineering, biological sciences, information sciences and technologies, medicine and surgery. So the sectors are L2, L8, L13, L31 and LM41. However, if you are going to get or if you already got a non-Italian degree, do not worry, because during the registration process, you will have to upload some documents and we will be able to assess whether your degree falls under one of these sectors on our own. If you don't have any degree in any of this sector, you still must have, of course, a bachelor level degree program and have obtained at least 21 credits in either informatic and engineering informatics sectors. They are still related to the Italian systems, so the sectors are informatics 01 and engineering informatics 05, or otherwise 21 credits in the biological Italian sectors, which are 09, 13 and 16. But what if you don't have neither a degree in one of the mentioned sectors nor the 21 credits in the mentioned sectors? You can still apply, and as already said, you can upload the syllabi for all the courses you have taken during your study path, and we will still evaluate your study path and assess whether you are eligible to access the master's degree in health informatics. Beyond this, another academic requirements refers to the language requirement, as you will be asked to provide an English language certification with minimum level B2. However, don't be afraid, because this requirement will be only asked at the enrollment phase in July. So you have plenty of time to get it if you don't have it already. And on our website, you can also find a list of accepted certifications, and we will put the link in the chat later on, so you can have a look at it. However, if you have studied your bachelor degree entirely in English, you won't need to provide the certification, as your English taught degree will already be sufficient for this requirement. So let's see now more in detail what do you need to do to register for the competition, for the selection test. So it's quite easy. you just have to go on our UniSR admission portal. You can find here the link, but it is also available on our website. You have to create a profile. You will see that you will be required to provide some personal information and some school information. You will see that at a very first stage, you will be asked to provide some information about a high school diploma. I know it may seem weird, but do not worry. We just need it to assess your entire study path. And what I really want to stress here is that if you have a non-Italian high school diploma, we strongly ask you to register for the competition at least 5 days before the deadline, which is on April 10. So please register at least by April 5th, because we will need to evaluate your study path. This is not automatic and will need some time. So we really want to make sure that you have enough time to then complete the registration. So after creating the profile, you just have to go on the top menu of our UniSR admission portal, click on apply, and just follow the procedure. So upload the documents and make the payment. As already mentioned, during the application, you will be asked to provide some documents. This is true especially if you are a non-UniSR candidate. So if you never studied at UniSR, you will be asked to provide the bachelor diploma if you already got it, and the transcripts, or just the transcripts if you are going to graduate in the next months. If the documents are in a language different from European languages, then you will be also asked to provide the translations that can be either in English or in Italian. And then, as already said, if your degree is non-Italian, or if you don't have a degree in any of the mentioned sectors nor the 21 credits, please upload also the syllabi of the courses you are taking, so that we have documents to evaluate. And then there is also a free field to upload any other useful document. So if you took any extracurricular activity, if you did any extra project that you feel like it will be worth for your application, please upload it. And this is also true if you are, or if you have been a UniSR student, so you won't be asked to upload your bachelor transcripts because they will be already in our archives. But if you think that you did some extra projects that may be worth for the evaluation of your entire profile, please upload them. So let's see now more in detail the elements of evaluation. As I previously said, the selection process is based on two elements. One is the test, the other one is your academic career. The test equals the 60% of the total score and maximum 24 points, and it is made of 24 multiple choice questions in mathematics, informatics, biology, genetics, anatomy, and physiology. As you can see, it is a very wide range of sectors, of fields, but don't be afraid, because this is what we want to understand from this test is if you are more in line with the IT track or with the biology track. The test will be delivered entirely in English, and you will have 60 minutes to complete it. As I said previously, it will be online and home-based. In parallel to the test, we will also assess your academic career. Specifically, we will evaluate the weighted average of the marks obtained during your bachelor degree course, and this element will value the 40% of the total score, that is to say maximum 16 points. If you haven't yet graduated, you will still be assessed. And for this, we ask you to upload your most recent transcripts so that we can assess your most recent career. What happens after the test? As I said, the test will be on March the 17th. In the meantime, we will assess your academic career, and then the ranking list will be available on within May the 6th. There will be two different ranking lists, one for EU candidates and one for non-EU candidates. If you are an admitted candidate, you will be also asked to confirm your place by May the 15th by making an advance payment of euro 1,000, which will be, of course, counted also for the enrollment period, for which you will only have to pay the difference then. So now I just want to go with you through the entire selection process timeline really quick. So as said, the registration period is already open and it will close on April the 10th. However, please remember that if you have a non-Italian high school diploma, you shall register by April the 5th. The test session will be on April 17th, and a few days after, you will have access to our review online, where you will be able to see how you performed during the test, correct and incorrect answers, and the points that you scored. Then in May, within May the 6th, the ranking list will be published, two different ranking lists, one for EU candidates, one for non-EU candidates, and within May 15th, you will have to confirm your place. Eventually, the enrollment will be in July, from July 1st to July 21st. So on my side, this is everything. I will stay here connected if you have any further questions on the selection process. And I pass the word to my colleague Angela. Thank you.
That's it. Thank you very much for your attention, for your questions, for your interest. Thank you to the speakers, and have a nice evening. Bye.
Thank
Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye.